Let's reiterate the need for natural skincare. Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Minke. This is Minke Wellness. And you know why do we care so much about natural skincare? It's out on the surface, right? It's cosmetic. It's not that important. Well, it is that important. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about the why it's that important. I mean, that's transdermal absorption. We actually do absorb these things through the skin, and the longer they sit on the skin, the longer the contact, the more likely it is to absorb. And then the second part is just the concept, the theory that we actually want to be well, not just look well. In other words, we don't want to just cover it up, right? That's like taking termite infested wood and just painting over it and kind of patching up the holes, but not really solving the problem that's underneath that's causing the blemish in the first place, right? So we don't want to just cover it up. We actually want to be well. And here's a big challenge in the area of skin care and natural skin care. There's very likely, during a time when you're overhauling your wellness and you're looking to really get healthy, there's very likely going to be some time in that process when the skin starts to detox and you get these detox reactions, where, in other words, where the skin doesn't look so good, okay? And it can be an extended period of time, and that's actually very, very awkward for a lot of people. You start on this wellness journey and you say, hey, I bought some products, some essential oils or some natural products, and all of a sudden, after and initially everything's going well, and then you use the same bottle of product that you always have. You use the same cleanser, natural lotion, all good natural stuff. And then, same bottle, one day you put it on and you start getting a little reaction. And so I'm going to refer you back to the skin reaction video that we just did. But the concept here is what I'm going for, and that's a very frustrating time when you're trying to do things naturally and all of a sudden things are starting to detox and things don't look so good. Either blemishes, pimples, those kind of things, eruptions, or a rash or some kind of redness or irritation. And a lot of times, again, those are times when the circulation is starting to get to areas, which we're going to talk about this week. Circulation is starting to get to areas that have been poor, that have had poor circulation, and those toxins aren't going to mobilize out through the lymph fast enough, and they're going to come out on the skin. And coming out on the skin changes the chemistry of the skin and causes reactions. Oftentimes, those reactions can be microbial borne because the chemistry changes and the defenses mechanisms are not there, and so then you get the infected hair follicles or something that turns into a pimple or boil or something like that. Or, like I said, the chemical itself comes out and just plain irritates the skin. These are actually good signs. They're signs that the body is cleansing, the signs that the body is moving forward. That's where you need that confidence of having internal strength, where internally you are feeling better, where you have to be able to say to yourself, oh, I am definitely better than I was last month. I'm definitely better than I was 6 months ago, because it might be 3-6 months into your wellness journey where this kind of thing will happen. And it gets frustrating, and then of course you kind of want to hide and don't want to tell anyone that you're using Young Living products or whatever product you're deciding to use, because it's having a rash and you're allergic or something, and someone will tell you you're allergic and all that. Don't get too bought into that. You can call it whatever you want to. We call it a detox reaction, and it will fade, it will pass. Okay, but the key concept here is not so much how to handle detox reactions, which I've already covered, but the key concept here is that we want to actually be well, not just look well. So it's easy to cover something up. Now, I'm not saying, please understand, listen to what I'm saying. I'm talking about priorities here. If I'm having a bunch of skin problems, eruptions and stuff, and I'm using a junky product to cover it up, as opposed to using a natural product to cover it up, which one would you choose? Of course, I would want a natural product to smooth that out and cover it up. So I'm not saying that covering something is bad. I'm just wanting to make sure that if we're covering something up, we know what the process is, that we're moving the whole process toward true wellness, really taking care of the problem on the inside and making those adjustments, okay? So that's why it's so important on both sides of this equation here to have natural skin products because, one, we don't want to toxify ourselves, right? Remember our wellness strategy: stop poisoning ourselves, flood the body with nutrients, and manage our stress. We definitely want to stop poisoning the skin, and anything we put on the skin has the potential to get into the body, into the and actually into the skin, and maybe actually get trapped in the skin. A lot of times these products that are cosmetic products contain waxes and things that are large, relatively large molecules, and they're not going to make it past the skin. This is another reason why the skin reactions are going to happen, because they can't go out through the lymphatic system. These things are trapped in the tissue, in the dead layer of skin. They've accumulated over time. Maybe the absorption is very slow. Maybe it's a very minimal amount. But if you use the same lotion over decades, you eventually accumulate these things. They also can transform. These things can change. These things can metabolize and change and break down and change their chemistry, and then you can end up reacting to the breakdown products. Okay, so there's a lot of factors to consider, and the easiest way to deal with it is simply to make sure you're doing something completely natural. And from then on, don't look back. Okay, so no matter how many reactions you get, just assume that those are reactions that are detox reactions. Especially, listen to what I'm saying here. Especially when you've already been using a product and then the detox reaction starts after that. It's not like you've used a brand new product and all of a sudden you're breaking out. It's the same product you've been using, and then all of a sudden, quote unquote, you're allergic to it. You're not allergic to it. You are having a detox reaction. Doesn't mean you want to necessarily continue doing it. What you do is you might have to stop the product. You stop essential oils, in particular, because essential oils can stimulate the release of those toxins out of the tissue. You want to go back to your sulfurzyme and your Super C, and do your breathing and do your brushing. And if you really want to quell things, take your Omega Gies is going to be a great product for keeping your inflammation levels healthy in your skin, in the cardiovascular system, which ends up leading to the skin. So those are the kind of the basics there we're talking about. And what we do is we just increase our sulfurzyme. Maybe as many as 12 a day if we need to. Take 4 again, take 4 again, and you're looking for a definite improvement over several days. It's not necessarily instant, but you are looking for results in a few days. And again, back off on the essential oils. Essential oils tend to be phase 2 detoxers. If you don't know any of these things that I'm talking about, go back and look at some of those videos on skin detox or detox reactions in general. Okay, so that's our basic concept here. We just want to be well, and it's so much healthier to be well. Once you get past this phase, once you get past it, you will be amazed how many people will say, oh, wow, your skin looks so fabulous. What are you doing? And you need to tell them you're doing a whole wellness program. Don't just tell them, oh, I'm using Art, or I'm using Genesis hand lotion or skin lotion, or I'm using the sandalwood skin product. Don't just say one product. You're doing a whole program, and make sure they understand that, because that is what's going to be needed in this modern toxic world to help get over that the hump. Right? They're not going to make it. They're not going to get the same results that you're getting if you don't tell them that you're doing the whole diet change. You're getting rid of partial hydrogenated vegetable oils, artificial junk in your diet, the preservatives, and you're getting rid of high fructose corn syrup and refined sugars, which I think we come to next time. We're getting rid of refined sugars in July. We're slowly making through our diet changes, but we've been through this whole process. You know how to improve your oxygen from breathing. You know how to get your elimination system moving from having done that part. You know how to do the circulatory system from the month we did that. So you've got a lot of skills here. You can't just throw a product at them and say, hey, this is how I did it. Now, I know that's become sexy because you want them to buy your product, but it's going to be really so much better for them long term if they understand this is a process toward wellness. Okay, so again, we want to be well. We want to look good. We want to look well, but we actually want to be well underneath that. Much more important than avoiding a minor blip in the road where we go through some not looking so good. In other words, you've seen when they repair a road, at the end of it looks fabulous, but in the middle of it you've got cones and they're tearing things up. That can happen as we're overhauling the skin, and that's true in any wellness program. Okay, so hang in there with that. Hopefully this will help give you the courage and the encouragement to push on through and go through the process, because that's what's important. Okay. So one day at a time. Wellness is one day at a time, and it doesn't always look the same. It's not a linear process. There are these jumps and starts and things that sometimes don't, they're a little bit scary. You go, wait a minute, I thought I was trying to be well and getting on the right direction. And the body can start digging out toxins, and that's a great way to be. You know that you're moving, and you've got to have the internal sense. This is why I keep doing the breathing. Get in touch with my body, get to know my body, do the breathing, get in there. And so that you know that this is a positive process that's happening, and not that you're reacting to something. If you're reacting to something, if you're unhealthy and you're reacting to something, then that's a different kind of place. You need to move differently in that. Okay. So one day at a time, body awareness. If you followed me at all on this, you know how much I love really being aware of the body, and how powerful that is in your entire wellness journey. Okay. So hang in there with the skin process. Make sure you're using these good quality skin products. Young Living is fabulous on these things, and has all the amazing essential oils to add to those products, which are not true in other products, and that's where the Young Living difference really comes. Okay, so we'll be talking more the rest of the week on healthy natural skincare. Follow us, join us, invite your friend, and we'll see you one day at a time. Happy wellness.